think we knew. Let's talk about some of the other stories. What else have you got today?
Shall we go for the Wayne Rooney story?
Yeah, now, Wayne Rooney, I can't work out, and I'm trying to be as sympathetic as I can towards someone who resembles a potato quite so.
Well, he's had his hair done, and he looks a lot better since he's had the hair planted in.
Well, yeah, I know, but you could put a wig on a King Edward, and it's still a King Edward. You know what I mean? You can. I mean, a Maris Piper, rolled in a little bit of body hair is still a Maris Piper.
You're naughty, but let's look at this story because it says Rooney in barmaid motor on 10-hour booze up. So you see it, and it says 2 a.m. Wayne paying for Colleen. So when you see that headline and the fact it's on the front page, you feel like this is a kiss and tell, and he's been unfaithful. Do you not? Yeah,
well, in actual fact, it isn't. I mean, I didn't even know what he was being accused of in this, but apparently he just went on a big drinking binge and then got in some girl's car.
So if I want to translate it and break down the 2-page splash, it's actually man goes to bar with woman.
But how would you feel? Is it newsworthy that he's gone to a bar with a woman, bearing in mind he's a married man and bearing in mind that he has got form?
I feel like this is something that the tabloid press are just so keen on bringing down this marriage because he's got previous. Do you remember his previous?
Well, as I said, everyone likes to help the aged.
To remind the listeners.
Yes. I think that will remind them enough that, it's always nice to...
But I think sometimes people forget that, and obviously Colleen forgot and forgave him for that. But there is still this kind of obsession with bringing down this marriage. And I think I've interviewed Colleen Rooney a few times.
Oh, have you? Because she fascinates me a little bit. I find her quite dignified, and I like the fact I don't really know an awful lot about her. And I think that she's one of the few people in that kind of position that I don't really know that much about, and I don't think talks that much, and I really like that.
I like that. And she won't engage with this story.
She never does. She never engages really with any of them. She, apart from... did she do an interview about one of his alleged infidelities, or has she never referenced them?
I don't feel like she ever has, but I can't say for sure.
No, I can't either, but clearly she doesn't. Clearly there are other people who are famous that if they had husbands that are accused, because let's remember this is all just speculation, but there are people in the public eye who, if they had partners accused of what Rooney has been accused of, you would hear about them morning, noon and night. They would be on the front page themselves. My pain, my trauma.
Exactly.
Yeah, whereas we don't have any of that with her.
Yeah.
But what was she like as a person when you met her?
She was wonderful. And I've interviewed her a few times, and each time she struck me as intelligent, very down to earth. She said that with the children, she's chosen to not work for a while and not have a nanny, and I really believed her. I didn't get any whiff of inauthenticity. And I think people are so desperate to hang her up as this victim when actually she's a strong woman and in control of her situation.
I think she has referenced it because it's just brought it back to me that I certainly read somewhere where she had said that, that what they have and their children is so much more than any of the rubbish that has been put in the past. And I think that it was quite simple reference like that. But,
yeah.
But that's
like vague and dignified, kind of what Cheryl goes for, but can't quite pull off as well.
At Cheryl at the moment.
I'm glad you were looking at that because that intrigues me. Does it not you? So apparently Liam Payne is now who's how old? 23?
Oh, I haven't. He's barely a fetus.
Dating Naomi Campbell, who's what, 72?
Yes, Naomi Campbell. She is actually cryogenically frozen now. That's
along with all the other 90s supermodels.
Like 25 years of age, she's at 48. And what I like here is, and this is almost for the Sun, and I actually am a fan of the Sun, I kind of have to be. But what I do love about what the Sun have done here is, never let them pass up an opportunity where there's a story around two women where they don't do a comparison chart. So, of course...
Oh, my goodness,
they've
look
done
at this.
A Cheryl Tweedy versus Naomi Campbell comparison chart. Cheryl, age 35, born Newcastle upon Tyne, where we've got Naomi Campbell. She's a Streatham girl. I mean, I don't know. A Streatham girl versus a Newcastle Geordie girl. I don't know who I'd put my money on in a fight there.
Also, they can't resist calling her Cheryl Tweedy. The Sun loved to do that.
Because she is just Cheryl.
Yes, and I think they do
Cheryl.
that. Just really push the knife in a bit further.
And also, like, she must have known, I've just got to be Cheryl now, because I've been Cheryl Tweedy, I've been Cheryl Cole, I've been Cheryl Fernandez Vassini. Now I've got to go back to it's a little bit of humiliation, a little bit of her soul must get eroded every time. She's got to send out the press release to all the editors going, so she must have just gone, right, you know what, I can marry 3 more times now, and if I just stay as Cheryl, I'm always just going to be Cheryl.
And then she did the song, Love Made Me Do It. She thought, right, this will be the answer. Everyone will understand.
That love made me do it.
And then everyone was like, that's a rubbish song.
Well, she's not doing brilliantly in her music at the moment.
But I quite liked that song, did you?
I thought it was alright. I prefer sort of, the Fight for This Love stuff. I mean, to me, Fight for This Love with those trousers that split up to the navel.
Iconic.
I mean, you can't
You can't recreate that with elephantitis boots,
you
can you?
You can't buy that, class. You really can't. Though I'm sure her check.
But Naomi, I'm sure, has tried.
Well, but can I just say, I do actually quite like Cheryl for some reason.
I love Cheryl. Do you listen to a podcast called Table Manners with Jessie Ware and her mum?
No, but it sounds like something I would love. Why do they love Cheryl?
They did a Table Manners with Cheryl, and you really get to know her.
Oh.
And one of the things they say is they ask people their worst table manners, and Cheryl says, I just accept everyone for who they are. She won't even say, like, oh, it's when people eat with their mouth open. Or
well, some of her fans might have their mouth open when they eat, and she doesn't want to discount any potential record sales. Any. Very, very interesting stuff. And of course, the other interesting ones.
Oh, they've got their relationships listed.
Well, I think the more important ones are the court cases.
Oh right, yes. Sorry, I didn't get that far down.
Cheryl's got assaulted a nightclub toilet attendant in 2003, found guilty of ABH. What was her name? Sophie Amogbokpa was her name.
Wow,
I do remember that. And yeah, she was accused of racism, but they found that she wasn't racist. She was just a thug who doesn't discriminate, which I think is, quite something. If I had beaten someone up, I'd want people to know that I will beat up anyone. It won't just be one particular colour. And that was what the judge found, and that she's completely not racist, which is nice. Whereas Naomi Campbell, she has got a few more years on Cheryl. Cheryl is 35, whereas Naomi's 48. So Cheryl's only got that one actual bodily harm conviction, whereas Naomi's got 4 assault convictions. I mean, Naomi looks at an ABH conviction and just laughs. She's like, ABH? Listen to this. I've got 4 assault convictions against a former housekeeper, a personal assistant, 2 police officers, and a photographer.
Well, she got the phone, didn't she? She
did.
She chucked the phone.
Well, she invented the mobile phone. She actually did. No one had the idea that phones could travel until Naomi picked one up and actually demonstrated it. And then Mr. Erickson was in reception and went, oh my God.
Do you know what this conversation's made me realise, though? What? These 2 women have a lot more in common than I first appreciated. So obviously Liam has got a type.
Well, he really, ones that commit assault. That's basically it. Soon he's going to be settling down with Anthony Joshua, because he does love someone with those handy fists. We will continue this conversation, plus others as well, including a few more stories from the newspapers, lots more besides. That's all coming up. It's Cristo here on Talk Radio.
Across